Hello everyone, hello, welcome to another pack cracking experience with me, Monty, from MTG Arena. Yeah, so basically it's the release of Murders of Karlov Manor, sort of Cluedo, depending on what colour, country you're from. Inspired set, Hasbro own both Magic the Gathering and Cluedo, so I think, I don't know, is it Cluedo's 75th anniversary or something? I'm not sure what it was, but it seems like there's been some kind of shenanigans going on to try and get some kind of, I don't know, product crossover going on. Anyway, it seems a bit convenient. But anyway, here we are. So, yeah, got plenty of packs now. You can order 50 to start with. It's sort of like a special deal pre-order bonus thing from MTG Arena, which is what I've done. You can see I've got 57 here, actually, on the cards itself. I don't want to scroll just in case I accidentally open one. But 57 here. Got 5 golden packs as well, part of it all. And I've got a Lost Caverns of Ixalan as well. That's appeared as well. You know, I think I've played a couple of games, basically, since it started. So there we go, got plenty to go on. So probably leave the golden packs till last, I think. Do we open, well, leave Lost Caverns of Ixalan, that's not the main event, is it really? So yeah, so not many chase cards, I don't think, from Murders of Karlov Manor. I don't know if it's a weak set or not. I don't know, there's a couple of things though to look out for. Got Pick Your Poison. A lot of these are actually not necessarily rares either, but they seem to be common, well, seem to be in demand cards. I've got Pick Your Poison, which is like a flexible one green, you know, like a green uncommon card. Just does all sorts of stuff. Usually does green stuff, does, you know, basically, yeah, I think it forces you to sort of sacrifice an artifact or enchantment, things like this. Got Breakout. Seems like a sort of green-red collected company for 2 or less mana value cards, I think. Seems quite an interesting one. Chalk Outline it is. I think this is the blue one, I think. In blue-black, I'm not sure. Whenever a creature leaves your graveyard, create a 2/2. Got Archdruid's Charm as well, which is basic green nonsense going on. Destroy artifacts and enchantments and find a, I don't know, I think you pick one and find some land, you know, ramp yourself and that and the other, the usual stuff. So it's obviously the green one of the, I think there's a blue one, isn't there? I forgot what it's called now, something or other charm. Sorry, did I say Archmage? Well, the blue one's Archmage's Charm, this is Archdruid's Charm, I might have called it the wrong name. There's Long Goodbye as well, you can't counter it, destroy a creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. The one that looks to be popular. Insidious Roots as well, it's an enchantment. You can tap any creature to add 1 mana. And it does various things where creatures leave the graveyard or cards, I'm not sure. You create a 0/1 plant creature and put +1/+1 counters on them. Any one you've got. Leyline of the Guild Pack, which looks like it might be interesting. This is one of those Leyline cards that comes into play if you have it in your opening hand. And basically makes all your lands basic land types. It sounds quite good for decks that need multicolours, so I might be looking into this for my Shrine deck maybe. And each non-land permanent is all colours, it says as well. So I'm not sure about that because obviously some cards have protection from, you know, this, that and the other, so I don't know, yeah. Not sure about that part of it though, so we'll see. There's no more lies, counter spell unless you pay 3 and then you exile the countered card if it's countered obviously. So that seems a good one. I think that's a popular counter card essentially. You can replace some typical ones. You got a Slime Against Humanity, which I'm not sure about the name, but you basically, it's a green one, you create 0/0 tokens, I think it's oozes, I think, and then you put +1/+1 counters on it based on X is the number of cards in your graveyard in exile, or something along those lines. Then you got Crime Novelist, it's a 1/1 when you sack an artifact, you put a +1/+1 counter on it and add a red man, I think it's a red-green card, or just red, I think it might just be red actually. So yeah, so anyway, so they're the ones past to look out for, and also the Mole God card, which is like an 8/4 4-mana red and green card, I think it is, which will be quite good in my SRX unsealing deck, where you know, we're having enchantment on the battlefield, so when a card with 7 power value or more enters the battlefield, does 4 damage to everything, and that's probably a good one for that maybe. So that's what I'm looking out for as well. So right, so let's see, can I move these along? Yeah, there we go, managed it. Let's listen to the music. I did get some cards already in this set, just from, you know, logging in or whatever. They throw a few your way. I think maybe because I had the starter pack, you know, these 50 packs, maybe it gave you some free ones. You can hear all the violin-y, cello-y, whatever instrument it is, music. All right, well, let's get started, shall we? So I will read through them all. I'll probably, you know, for better or worse. So obviously we'll start to get some duplicates as we go on. I think they're saying that they've started putting play boosters in MTG Arena, or they've adjusted the draft packs anyway, so you get duplicates. And things like this, you know, they've changed the booster packs anyway. We can get multiple rares and mythics, I think, apparently, but who knows? Probably not very likely. But alright, let's see what we got. Oh, we got a mythic in this one, that's good. Alright, so we got is it a common or uncommon? Uncommon wild card. Alright, so we've got Sanitation Automation, two colourless. Artifact creature construct, 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, surveil 1. So look at the top card library, you can put it in your graveyard. Then we got Museum Night Watch, a creature Centaur Soldier, 3 and a white. Centaur Soldier, when it dies, create a 2/2 white blue detective token and disguise. One is, so we've got some new mechanics in this set as well. I forgot to mention that. Disguise is one of these. There's a few very similar ones, I think, but you may cast this card face down for free as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2. Turn it face up at any time for its disguise cost. So you can basically put it, you can pay for it earlier to get it on your on the battlefield, and then flip it. And some cards will have flip abilities, I think. You know, so we'll find those out as we come to them. I think I was going to mention them at the start actually, but I thought we'll mention them as we come to them because it says all the text and stuff here, doesn't it? So it's probably easier. All right, Airtight Alibi. All right, I'm not sure about the image on this one. 2 and a green, enchantment aura, flash, enchant creature. Enters the battlefield and tap enchanted creature against hexproof turn to turn. If it's suspended, if it's suspected, it's no longer suspected. What does that? We'll come to that in a minute. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2, can't become suspected. It's a flash, you can cast it as an instant. Hexproof, it's got protection from permanents your opponent's controls, I think it is, yep. A suspect creature has menace and can't block. Right, if you suspect it. Right. Okay. It's like menace means you can't be you have to be blocked by 2 or more creatures, not just 1. Alright, so Living Conundrum, 4 and a blue, in creature elemental, 2 and a 2/5, hexproof. If you draw a card while your library has no cards in it, skip that draw instead. As long as no cards in your library, Living Conundrum has base power and toughness 10/10. That's fine vigilance. Might be quite good for these crazy decks that do weird things, but it sounds like it might be a bit risky. Do crazy things by hex, you know, get rid of your own well, milling yourself basically, but also maybe might be a counter to some mill decks, maybe. But obviously, if you kill this, then you know, then you're doomed. Auspicious Arrival, 1 and a white instance. A target creature gets +2/+2 on turn and then investigates. To investigate, create a colourless artifact token with 2. Colourless, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. And what's the mythic? No, just a wild card, nothing exciting. All right. Okay, 1 down, 56 to go. Alright, so we'll ramp up as we open more cards. So on the job, instant 2 and 2 white. Creature you control get +2/+1 turn, investigate. So I mentioned investigator before. Rubble Belt Maverick, 1 green, creature human detective. It's a 1/1. It's got a guy with a large cat with 6 eyes. When Rubblefelt Maverick enters battlefield, surveil 2, so I mentioned that before. Then you can pay green, exile Rubberfelt Maverick from your graveyard, puts a +1/+1 counter on type creature, and use a sorcery. Alright, we've got Tunnel Tipster, little mole guy. Look at that, Mole Scout. 1 and a green. At the beginning of your end step, if a face down creature enters the battlefield under your controller's turn, puts a +1/+1 counter on Tunnel Tipster, and you can tap it to the green. It might be good that, but it's probably, if it wasn't 2 mana, I think it'd be a really good card. Alright, right. Dog Walker. Alright, Dog Walker. They always witness crimes, don't they? Or find bodies, dog walkers, don't they? That's what it is, I guess. So a red and a white. Creature human citizen, 3/1. Vigilance, disguise. I guess that's, so we mentioned that disguise. You can pay 3 generic to put it as a 2/2 creature with Ward 2. You can pay its disguise cost to flip it at any time. That will when you've got summoning sickness? I'm not sure. Don't think it will it? So disguise, it's a hybrid, 2 hybrid, white, red. When dog walkers turn face up, create 2 tapped 1/1 white dog creature tokens. Look at those little dogs. There we go. Yeah, that one's a cute dog, and one on the artwork is mean ones. But there we go. So I guess that's an example of a perk of turning face up, flipping them face up. It creates some tokens. All right. Aftermath Analyst, 1 and a green. Can't quite make out what's going on in that picture. Oh, that's his face. Elf Detective creature, 1/3. Yeah, when Aftermath Analyst enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. Let's put them in your graveyard. A 3 and a green, sacrifice Aftermath Analyst. Return all land cards from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. We've got Sudden Setback, 2 and 2 blue. Instant. The target owner of spell or non-opponent puts it on the top of their bottom of their library. Alright. And then we got the rare for this one. Prof's Eidetic Memory, I think it is. 1 and a blue. Legendary enchantment. Prof's Eidetic Memory enters the battlefield, draw a card. You have no maximum hand size. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you draw more than one card this turn, put X +1/+1 counter on target creature control, where X is the number of cards you draw on this turn -1. Alright, do we do Fairy Snoop? We won't miss that one. One a blue and a black, Fairy Detective, 1/4, Flying Disguise. We meant to disguise. We play it face down for free. Colourless to create a 2/2 creature with War 2. And you can flip it anytime. And it's, by paying its disguise cost, which is 1, and then 2 hybrid black blue. When it's Snoopy's turn face up, look at top 2 cards of your library, put one into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Alright. Okay. 2 draws so far. We've got a common wild card. Ally Assailant, 2 and a black. Vampire rogue creature, 3/3. Enters tapped. Disguise for black. When it's turn face up, top of it is free life and you gain free life. That's very expensive. So turn it face up. 5 and a black. Basilica Stalker, Vampire Detectives. I've got a few Vampire Detectives here. And when it deals combat damage to play, you gain 1 life and surveil 1. Disguise 4. Alright, again quite expensive. It's a 3/4, did I mention? Okay, so surveil, you check out your grave, you draw a card basically and put it in your library. Put it in your graveyard if you want. Alright, so we've got Sanguine Saviour, Vampire Clout this time. 1 a white and a black, flying lifelink, Vampire Clout 2/1. When it's turn face up, it's got disguise of hybrid black-white, 2 black-white. Another type creature control gains lifelink until end of turn. You can see lots of face up disguise things here. Benthic Criminologist, 4 and a blue, Merfolk Wizard, 4/5. Whenever Benthic Criminologist sends back to attacks, you may sacrifice an artifact. If you do, draw a card. Very good with all those clue tokens. When Rune Brand Juggler enters the battlefield, outside this is a black and a red Human Shaman, 2/2. Suspects up to 1 type creature you control, so that gives it menace and it can't block. And then you can pay a 3, a black and a red, sacrifice a subject creature. Type creature gets -5/-5 to end of turn. We've got Case of the Filched Falcon. It's an enchantment case. This is a new gimmick for this set. So it comes into battlefield, you investigate, and then you can solve this by control 3 or more artifacts. If unsolved, solve at the beginning of your end step. So you can do it at the end step. So you solve it by paying 2 and a blue. Sacrifice this case, put 4 +1/+1 counts on type non-creature artifacts. It becomes a 0/0 bird creature with flying in addition to its other types. You've got to control 3 or more artifacts, I guess, to do it. Alright, there we go. Okay, interesting. Alright, yeah. There we go. So I'm not sure whether they're any good or not. Flavourful, I guess. We've got the rare. Drag the canal? Doesn't it mean dredge the canal? Is that an Americanism? It's an instant for a blue and a black. Create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. If a creature died this turn, you gain 2 life, surveil 2, then investigate. We've mentioned all those things before. So investigate, you get a clue token. With 2 generic, sacrifice artifact, draw a card. Alright, drag the canal. I think, it should be dredge or drain. Yeah, it must be an Americanism, that. Alright, I think we've done all those. Let's then do the next one. Nothing exciting so far. Okay, so V2 Ghazi Inspector. Alright, fair enough. 1 and a green. It's Elf Detective 1/3. As additional cost to cast a spell, you may collect evidence 6. So that means you exile cards of total mana 6 or greater from your graveyard. It's got reach. To enter the battlefield, if evidence was collected, put a +1/+1 count on type creature control and gain 2 life. Not sure if that's any good or not. Crime Stopper Sprite, Fairy Detective, 2 and a blue, 2/2. Flying, as an additional cost, you can collect evidence 6, same again. When it enters the battlefield, tap type creature, if evidence was collected, put a stun counter on it. So stun counter is permanent stun counter, so it would become untapped, remove stun counter from it instead. So it basically stops it untapping. Then we've got Shock. Oh, there you go. So Shock's been reprinted, so it's a popular one. 2 damage to any target, so 1 red instant. Rift Burst Hellion. Very nice. It's coming from another world, another dimension. It's 5, a red and a green. Creature Hellion, 6/7. Got reach and disguise, so you can pay it face down. To get 2 to creature war 2 by paying 3 generic instead of paying its mana cost, and flip it for its disguise cost, which is 4 generic and 2 hybrid green red. Got Novice Inspector, it's 1 white. to 1 to human detective. When it enters the battlefield, investigates. That's not too bad, I guess. Reminds me of that other one. Is it Fraben Inspector? Is it basically that card again? I think it probably is. Just a different name. Got a Killer Among Us. 4 and a green. Looks like looks like a game of the traitors or werewolf or whatever. Or all those things. By the way, the human token is the one from the art of the card, which is quite good. Bit of consistency then, like the dogs ones, which is completely different. Just an enchantment for 4 and a green. When a Killer Among Us enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human creature token, a blue, a 1/1 blue merfolk creature token, and a 1/1 red goblin creature token. Alright. That's the 3 people in the image. Then secretly choose human, merfolk, or goblin. Sacrifice a Killer Among Us, reveal the creature type you chose. Alright, if target attacking creature token is the chosen type, put 3 +1/+1 counter on it against death touch on the turn, so I guess that's the killer. Alright, there we go. Alright, if the artwork implies that the killer was the woman there, but I'm not sure. Alright. Yeah, the Resistance was the other game I was speaking of before, I don't know if I mentioned it. So, Torch the Witness. Alright, someone's had better days. X and a red, sorcery. It deals twice X damage to target creature. If excess damage was dealt this way to that creature, investigate. Got one of those clue tokens. Alright, so we got, alright, okay, one of the typical tap lands. Elegant Parlour. Mountains, Plains. Enters tapped, enters battlefield, surveil 1. Add a white or a red. One of those typical lands. Nothing exciting so far, as I say. But interesting flavour-wise, got Instant Bystander again. Pick your poison. Oh, this one we were after, wasn't it? So here we go, the sorcery, 1 green. It says it's a common, nothing special, but it's a popular one. Each opponent sacrifices an artifact, sacrifices an enchantment, sacrifices a creature. You choose one of those. So pretty flexible, that one. Obviously, does give the option to the opponent. But we're using Night Watch again. Offender at Large. A 4 and a red. Disguise, 4 and a red. So when Offender at Large is battlefield or is turn face up to 1 target creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. It's a 5/4. Doesn't look like a 5/4. Alright, Touch Witnesses again. Unauthorized exit, 1 and a blue. Instant. Return target's non-land permanent to its owner's hand. Surveil 1. Alright. Curious Cadaver. 2 blue and a black. Zombie Detective with flying. 3/1. When you sacrifice a blue, return Curious Cadaver. I feel like I knew how to pronounce that, but I can't do it anymore. There we go. Body base, isn't it? When you graveyard to your hand, so it gets returns comes from the graveyard. Then the rare. One of these tap lands again, surveil lands. Okay, so it's Rorschach's Theatre this time, so it's a red and a black. So comes in tap, you can add one of those colours, you can surveil 1 when it enters the battlefield. Alright, so already getting some repeats, but they are the commons. Alright, so we've got Red Herring, literally, well, sort of almost literally Red Herring. 1 and a red, artifact creature Cluefish. Haste, Red Herring attacks each combat if able, it's a 2/2, and you can pay 2 to sacrifice it and draw a card. We've got Slice from the Shadows, X and a black instant. It's got Massacre Girl in it, so Massacre Girl's one of the keynote characters. There's a few keynote characters that are suspects in this set, but I forgot to mention, basically there's 4 suspects to who's killed somebody or other. Massacre Girl's one of them, I can't remember who the other ones are. There's some generic, well, typical MTG characters. The spell can't be countered, include the Ward's ability. Okay, so yes, a ward doesn't overcome counters, does it? Yes, it's kind of a counter ward ability. You always forget. Target creature gets -X till end of turn. Alright, now we've got Gearbane Orangutan. Interesting. 2 and a red. Reach. Is it nicking stuff? I'm not sure. 2/2. Creature Ape. When it enters the battlefield, choose 1 to destroy 1 target artifact. Sacrifice an artifact. If you do, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Gearbane Artifact. Oh no, Gearbane Orangutan. Gearbane Artifact. We've got Neighbourhood Guardian. It's a dancing unicorn. It's a 1 and a white. Creature unicorn, 2/2. When another creature of power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, target creature you control gets +1/+1 to end of turn. Alright, so nothing too expressive. It's impressive. Projector Inspector. Yeah, a bit of a rhyme. 2 and a blue. Human Detective, 3/2. When it enters the battlefield or another detective enters the battlefield under your control, whenever a detective you control is turned face up, you may draw a card. If you do, discard a card. Alright. I don't know if that means... So you have to do that on the same turn. So whenever a detective is face up and another detective enters the battlefield. I don't know if that means if your detective's turned face up, so it counts for both. Yeah, I assume so. Alright, so you have to do both things separately. I assume that's the case. So you're flipping detectives face up, I guess. Guess he just appear out of nowhere. Alright, and the rare. Homicide Investigator, 1 and a black. Human Detective 2/2. Whenever one or more non-token creature tokens you control die. Oh, sorry, whenever one or more non-token creatures you control die. Regular creatures, basically, not tokens. Investigates. This ability triggers only once each turn. Alright. So they probably all work together in as a standard set of stuff, I guess. Alright. So Massacre Girl's attacking some blood. I don't know if that's the guy who died, and it's obviously showing that Massacre Girl... I mean, basically, you've got Massacre Girl, and you've got 3 other normal-ish people, so, you know, like, who would your suspect be? So maybe that guy's the guy who died, I don't know. Unless he's the lead... I think he's the lead investigator. There are some flavour going on in the cards, so maybe he's on to her and she did the murder. I mean, let's face it, Massacre Girl is probably high amongst the suspects, I would imagine. That paints her face red with what looks like blood, maybe. It's called Massacre Girl. You know. Okay, so we've got Rubber Belt Braggart this time. So it's a Viashino warrior. Okay, it's weird. Don't know what those are. It looks lizard man of some kind. A 4 and a red, 5/5. When it attacks, if it's not suspected, you missuspect it. Okay, so we mentioned that before. Gets menace. It can't block. Crowd Control Warden, a 3, a green and a white. Sensor Soldier, 4/4. When it enters the battlefield, it's turn face up. X+1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of other creatures you control. It's disguise cost, which is to flip it up after it's been played face down with this disguise cost. It's 3 and hybrid green-white. Got Shock again. Agency Coroner, 4 and a black. Ogre Cleric, 3/6. And it's 2 and a black to sacrifice another creature, draw a card. If the suspected creature was suspected, if the sacrificed creature was suspected, draw 2 cards instead. So that works with a Rubber Belt Braggart, I guess. Okay, common wild card. A Killer Among Us had that one. Got Forensic Researcher, Merfolk Detective, 2 and a blue. 1 free. And you can tap it to untap another type permanent control. And you can tap it to collect evidence free, type creature you don't control. Tap type creature you don't control. So exile cards. When you go with mana value 3 or greater to do it. Okay, so you can tap itself. Oh, well, you can tap permanent you control, or you can tap opponent's permanents. Well, opponent's creatures, actually, not permanents. But it costs you a bit more than the graveyard cost. And the rare, Forensic Gadgeteer. Alright, 2 in the blue. Vidalcan Artifact Detective, 2/3. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, investigates. Activate abilities or artifacts you control, cost 1 less. This effect can't reduce the mana, cost less than 1 mana. Alright, so we got one of the cards we're looking for. Was it Pick Your Poison, I think it was. Jaded Analyst, 1 and a blue. Human Detective, 3/2 Defender. When you draw your second card each turn, it loses Defender and gains Vigilance. Alright. Defenestrated Phantom, okay. 4 white. Creature Spirit, 4/3. Flying, it's got Disguise of 4 and a white. You can pay 3 generic to make it as come in as a 2/2 with Ward 2. And then you can flip it for paying that disguise cost. Make Your Move, 2 and a white. Instant, destroy target artifact, enchantment or creature with power 4 or greater. That's one of those generic ones that you usually get. Most sets, or in a few sets anyway. Rot Farm, Mortipede, 3 and a black. Insect creature, 3 and a 4. Or a 3/4. Whenever one or more creature cards leaves your graveyard, Rot Farm Mortipede gets +1/+0 and gains menace and lifelinks end of turn. That probably works quite well with that. What was that one before that other? What it's called now? Is it Suspect or something? I can't remember. It was where you basically exile cards from your graveyard to pay for a suspect cost or whatever it was. I don't think it was Suspect. I think it was another one, wasn't it? I forgot what it was now, but we'll see it come up in a bit, I'm sure. Okay, so we've got Fuss and Bother. Okay, so it's a split card. So it's either a 2 and a hybrid red-white. So it's an instant, put +1/+1 counter on each type creature control. Or Bother is 4 and a hybrid white-blue. 2 of those. Create 3 1/1 colours swap to artifact creature tokens with flying surveil 2. Alright. Yeah, I can't remember what that mechanic was called now, but we'll come into it in a bit. Got Bubble Smuggler, Octopus Fish, 1 and a blue. Alright. And it's a disguise with 5 generic and a blue, so you can, play it as a face down for 3 mana, etc. The Bubble Smuggler's turn face up, put 4 +1/+1 counters on it. Alright, that's not too bad. This cost is quite expensive, so Surveillance monitor. Vidalcan detective. Green and blue. The Vidalcan guys, that's Dovin, isn't he? He was a Vidalcan, I guess. When it's about to may collect evidence, that's it, collect evidence, isn't it? The exile cards will determine value X or greater from your graveyards. That syncs with the Mortipede. Whenever you collect evidence, create a 1/1 colour swap to artifact creature token with flying. So yeah, those two work quite well together. Has to be creature cards. Alright. And the rare for this one. Larzov, Wearer of Faces. Alright, so it's a bit like Arya from Arya Stark from Game of Thrones, I guess. Legendary creature, shapeshifter detective. 2 and a 3, or maybe he is anyway, I'm just assuming. When Larzov, Wearer of Faces attacks, exile type card from a graveyard, then investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, you may have Larzov become a copy of creature card exiled with it until end of turn. Alright. Okay, interesting. Right, so yeah, I guess that's probably another way of syncing with Mortipede. Alright, so a long way to go. We've only done 9 packs or something. Alright, so bite down on crime. 3 in the green. Looks like some creatures literally bite some guy's leg. Sorcery, it's initial cost to cast a spell. You may collect evidence 6. We mentioned that before. It's the graveyard exile one. The spell costs 2 generic less to cast. If evidence was collected, target creature you control gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. Snarling Gorehound, 1 black, 1/1 dog. Menace, whenever another creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, surveil 1. Reasonable Doubt, 1 on the blue, instant. Counter target spell unless its control plays 2. Spreads up to 1 target creature, so your generic counter spell. Not a bad one, I guess. But obviously, we're looking for the other one. What was the one we were looking for? No More Lies, I think it is. I think that's probably the chase one, I think, but there we are. Behind the Mask. Alright, 1 blue. Instant, as an additional cost to cast a spell, you may collect evidence 6. Until end of turn, target artifact creature. Artifact or creature becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 4/3. If evidence was collected, it has base power of toughness 1/1 instead of until end of turn instead. Alright. Okay. End of turn, target creature. I don't get that. Why would you... We collect evidence 6, and end of turn, artifact creature becomes an artifact creature with base power and toughness 4/3. Oh, okay, right. So you might be able to make something bigger on your side, but if you collect evidence, you can make something weaker. Okay, you do it at instant speed as well. So your opponent's creature basically. Eliminate the impossible. A 1 and a blue. Alright, some crazy stuff going on there. Don't know what's going on. Some kind of weird imagery. Instant investigate creature opponent's control. Get -2, -0 to end of turn. If any of them is suspected, then none unsuspected. Alright, that means they've got menace and can't be blocked, or can't block rather. They went this way, 2 in the green, sorcery, switch life for basic line card, put on the battlefield tap, then shuffle, investigate. Alright. Presumed dead, 1 on the black. Guy's faking his own death or something, but that's it. Until end of turn, target creature gets +2/+0 and gains when this creature dies, turns to battlefield under its owner's control and suspect it. Alright. Okay, the rare. Audience with Trotsani. Okay, 2 in yes, a 2 in green. Create 0/1 plant creature token and draw cards equal to the number of differently named creature tokens you control. So Trotsani, there's 3 women that you've seen in one of the avatars you can have. Okay. Alright, what's going on here? So we've got Vengeful Creeper. It's a 4 in a green, plant elemental, 5/5, disguise, 5 in the green, so you can pay 3, place it face down, etc. Vengeful Creature is, and then flip it back up for its disguise cost. When Vengeful Creeper is turned face up, destroy target artifact or enchantments and opponent controls. And how do they work with bounce, well, what are they called, like, Panharmonicon type effects, sort of flicker effects, bringing them back in. Do they come face down again? No, I guess they don't, do they? They'll come face up. Maybe you can cheat them to go face up quicker, maybe. But it specifically is turned face up, isn't it? So if you flicker them, you won't get that ability. Alright. Weird artwork there. I don't know what it's got. It's got some kind of weird stone creature wrapped around it. I'm not sure what it's about. Okay, Felonious Rage, 1 red. Instant, target creature control gets +2/+0 and gains haste end of turn. When this creature dies, when that creature dies this turn, create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. We've got Case of the Gateway Express. Gateway Express. That basically the Orient Express. 1 and a white enchantment case. When this case enters the battlefield, choose target creature you don't control. Each creature you control does 1 damage to that creature. And they're all murdering it at once, I guess. If that's a spoiler for the Orient Express murder. Did everyone do it or something? I don't know, I've not seen it. To solve, 3 or more creature tokens attack this turn. If unsolved, solve at the beginning of the end step. Solve, creatures you control get +1/+0. Alright, and concealed weapon, 1 and a red. I don't know if they're any good, those case enchantments. It might be. Guess they're good flavour, aren't they? Artifact equipment. Equip creature gets +3/+0. Disguise, 2 and a red. When concealed weapon is turned face up, attach to target creature you control. Equip 1 and a red. Anzrag's Rampage, 3 red. Sorcery. Destroy all artifacts you don't control. Then exile the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of artifacts that are put into the graveyard from the battlefield this turn. You must approach a creature card exiled this way onto the battlefield. It gains haste, return to your hand at the beginning of the end step. Next end step. Alright. Okay, so this is a way of getting rid of artifacts, all these clue tokens. I think it's a big giant mole there. I wonder if that's that mole god. Alright, maybe he did it. I wonder if there's a card called Who Done It. You'd imagine there would be, wouldn't you? But I don't know if there is. Gravestone Strider, 2 generic artifact creature golem, 1 free. And you can pay 1 generic to add 1 mana of any colour, activate only once each turn. And you can pay 2 to exile Gravestone Strider from your graveyard, exile a card from a graveyard. Alright, a bit of slight graveyard hate. Glint Weaver, a spider creature, 5 and 2 green, 3/3, reach. Enter battlefield, distribute 3 +1/+1 counters to 1, 2 or 3 target creatures, then you gain life equal to the greatest toughness. 1 creature you control. You've got Furtive Courier, 2 in the blue. Merfolk Advisor, 3/2. Doesn't look like a 3/2, does it? Some of these creatures look more powerful than the art suggests. And then ones that, I don't know, like this Rubblefelt Maverick. I mean, we've got a big giant cat there. I guess that's not the creature though, but even so. It's only a 1/1. Anyway, Furtive Courier can be blocked as long as you have sacrificed an artifact this turn, so like a clue token. Whenever it attacks, draw a card and discard a card. Right, Ill-Time Explosion, 2 blue-red. Sorcery, draw 2 cards, then you may discard 2 cards. When you do, Ill-Time Explosion deals X damage to target creature, where X is the greatest mana by among cards discarded this way. It sounds like it might be good for some of those blue-red decks, but I imagine they've probably got better already. Alright. Those decks we all love. Okay, a few swaps in this one. Seasoned Consultant, or repeats. 1 and a red, 1 and a white rather. Human Detective, 1 free. When you attack 3 or more creatures, Seasoned Consultant gets +2/+0 turn to turn. Then Lumbering Laundry. Okay. Bit of a weird one. It's just a monster made out of laundry. 5 generic creature golem, artifact creature golem. 4/5. You can pay 2 generic. Turn to turn, you may look at a face down creature you don't control any time and disguise 5. You can pay it as a 2/2 by paying 3, and there's War 2. And there. Relive the Past. 5 green and a white. Sorcery. Return to 1 target artifact card, up to 1 target land card, up to 1 target non-aura enchantment card from your graveyard to the battlefield. You have 5 other elemental creatures in addition to other types. Alright. Relive the Past. Not sure what the relevance of that is in the set flavour wise. Maybe it's something that happens in these crime things, but I don't recognise it. Due Diligence, 2 and a white. Enchantment aura. When enchant creature, when Due Diligence enters battlefield, target creature control. Other than enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and gains vigilance on a turn. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2 and has vigilance. Got the chases on. 2 and a red. Okay, Kai is chasing some guy. So, yeah, Kai is some kind of vampire detective. Target creature gets +3/+0 against first strike until end of turn. Investigate. Out cold. 3 and a blue, a clue. Oh, sorry, 3 and a blue, an instant. The spell can be countered. Okay, this includes by the ward ability. Tap up to 2 target creatures and put a stun counter on each of them. Investigate. Get the clue token. Granite Witness, so some kind of gargoyle. A 2 white and a blue. Artifact creature gargoyle detective. 3 and a 2. Flying Vigilance, disguise. Hybrid 2 white blue. When Granite Witness is turned face up, you may tap or untap target creature. Alright. Detective Satchel, 2 blue and a red. When Detective Satchel, it's an artifact, enters the battlefield, investigate twice. You can tap it to create a colour swapped artifact token with flying. Activate only if you've sacrificed an artifact this turn, such as a clue token. Right, Cryptic Coat, or it's Cryptic Goat then. 2 in the blue, artifact equipment. When it enters the battlefield, cloak the top card of your library, then attach Cryptic Coat to it. So what does cloak mean? It's another mechanic. To cloak a card, put it onto the battlefield face down as a 2/2 creature with ward 2. Turn it face up at any time if its mana cost if it's a creature card. So similar to the was it disguise one or whatever, isn't it? But like, you can do it to anything. Okay. Alright, interesting. And then you can pay 1 and a blue, return cryptic coat to its owner's hand. Alright. I don't know if that one's any good or not. Okay, so deduce 1 and a blue, draw a card, investigate. It's an instant. You got macabre reconstruction, 3 and a black, sorcery. It costs 2 less to cast if your creature card was put into your grave from anywhere this turn. Until 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. And nothing else new in this one. Got Lamplight Phoenix, 1 red. Creature Phoenix, 3/3. When it dies, you may exile it to collect evidence 4. If you do, return it to the battlefield tapped. Alright, okay. Let's exile 4 cards from your graveyard. Well, sorry, exile cards with a total mana value of 4 greater rather. Right, not sure if that's any good or not. It comes back. A few we've not had here. Murder, so that's a classic card. 1 black, destroy target creature in instant. Had to be in the set, didn't it, really? There are better cards these days, though, I think, generally, but it does kill a creature outright. Well, better, you know, ones that are preferred, I guess. But not quite the same. 3 and a blue. Creature Spirit Detective, 3/3. Flying. When Cold Case Cracker dies, investigate. That's Cold Case Cracker, I didn't mention the name. Undercover Crocodile, alright, was that a half elf, half crocodile? Elf Crocodile Detective, 4 blue and a green, 5/5. When it deals combat damage to a player, investigate, and you can disguise it for 3 in hybrid green, blue. So that's 5 in total. Unscrupulous Agent, 1 and a black, so 1/1 creature, elf detective, smashing a window. When it enters the battlefield, target opponent exiles a card from their hand. Persuasive Interrogators. Okay, it's 4 and black. It's a Gorgon Detective, so Medusa Detective, 5 and a 6. Well, the Medusa was a Gorgon, not that all Gorgons are Medusas. When Persuasive Interrogator enters, or Interrogators enters the battlefield, investigate. Whenever you sacrifice a clue, target opponent gets 2 poison counters. Alright. Very expensive, that card. Hard-hitting question. It was literal in the artwork. 1 green, sorcery, target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to any to target creature or planeswalker you don't control. It's a limited card, that one, I imagine. We got Ezrim Agency Chief. It's 1 generic, 2 white and 2 blue. It's Archon Detective legendary creature, 5/5. It's got flying. When it enters the battlefield, investigate twice. You can pay 1 generic, sacrifice artifact. Ezrim gains your choice of Vigilance, Lifelink, or Hexproof until the turn. Right, so I can use clues for other things. So if that's any good or not, that creature, I don't think it will be, but you never know. Probably limited. Demand Answers, 1 and a red, instant. Additional cost to cast a spell, sacrifice an artifact, or discard a card, draw 2 cards. Slime Against Humanity, so this is one on the list, wasn't it? So there we go. 2 in the green. Sorcery, this is creates a 0/0 green ooze creature token with trample. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is a 2, plus the total number of cards you own in exile and in your graveyard. That are oozes or as named Slime Against Humanity. Such a stupid name. A deck can have any number of cards named Slime Against Humanity. Interesting. That works well with all those. What was it? I don't know. Was it Investigate or whatever it was? Not Investigate. I forgot what the term was already now. But the one where you exile cards from your graveyard for that have a mana value of whatever the cost is. Oh, it was now. What's it called? That I keep forgetting what it is. Anyway, you know the one, I'm sure. Right, Concealed Weapon, we've had that one. Purse of Interest, 3 and the red. Human Rogue, 2/2. Enter battlefield, suspect it. Create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token. But it has menace and can't block. Absolving Lamassu. Right, a creature Lamassu. Okay, so that's some kind of weird, I don't know, goat creature with wings. And a human face. 4 and a white. 4/3, flying. Enter battlefield, all suspected creatures no longer suspected. When absorbing Lamassu dies, you gain 3 life and suspect up to 1 target creature an opponent controls. Alright. A weird one, that, isn't it? Like you. I don't know. Maybe it's a bad thing to have your own creature suspected, I'm not sure. Seems like probably a bad card, that, I think, generally. I can't remember what that other mechanic was called before. But anyway, 10th District Hero, 1 and white. Creature human, 2/3. Seems quite well, reasonably costed. 1 and a white, collect evidence 2. There you go, that's the collect evidence, was that mechanic we were looking for. That works well with the slime against humanity. It's exiling more things. So 10th District Hero for collect evidence 2, white and generic. Becomes human detective with base power and toughness 4/4 and gains vigilance. That seems to be permanent, that. It seems quite a good one, this card, actually. 2 and a white, collect evidence 4. If 10th District Hero is a detective. Alright, so you've done the first bit, so that leveling's up. It becomes a legendary creature named Meliva the Stalwart. Not like a female name, that, but it looks like a guy in the artwork. It has base power and toughness 5/5 and gains other creatures you control have indestructible. So this seems quite a good card, actually, this one. Humans are a good tribe as well, or whatever. You can still use the word tribe, I'm not sure, but you know. Yeah, archetype. Yeah, that seemed like a good card. It wasn't in my list of ones to look out for, but I think that seems quite good. Escape Tunnel, it's a land, and you can, it's got no type, but you can tap it and sacrifice it in search your library for a basic land card, put onto the battlefield tapped, or it's like Terramorphic Expanse or whatever it is, isn't it, already? And then you can tap it as well, sacrifice it, type creature power 2 or less, can be blocked this turn, so it's a bit like that. And what's the other one? What it's called now? There's that other one, isn't there? Where it's like, yeah, you can just get a card from your basic land card. That sort of card, anyway. Okay, here we go. Judith, Carnage Connoisseur, 3, a black and a red. This is one of the suspects. Legendary creature, human shaman, 3 and a 4. Whenever you cast an instant sorcery spell, choose 1. That spell gains Death Touch and Life Link. That spell, alright. Instant sorcery spell, that's interesting, applying that through it. Creates a 2/2 red imp creature token with, when this creature dies, deals 2 damage to each opponent. Okay, interesting, there you go. So she's one of the suspects. So we missed this one, Rope. And the Cluedo weapons, I guess. Or Clue weapons, if you're in the US. Or not the UK. 1 green, equipped creature. It's an artifact, Clue equipment. Clue equipment, so I guess it would be Cluedo equipment in the... It goes over the head of people in the UK because the game's called Cluedo. So unless you know it's called Clue in the States or whatever, or wherever else, it wouldn't quite work as well. I guess being called Cluedo, it's a bit of a weird name anyway. I don't know why that is, but there we go. I think it was a UK game originally. I think it was called Cluedo originally, and then it was exported to the US and changed, I believe. So, the quick creature is +1/+2 and has reach and can be blocked by more than 1 creature. And you can pay 2 generic, sacrifice it, and draw a card, and you can equip it for free. Free or generic. We've got an uncommon wild card there. All right. Got a couple of the cards we're after. I think that Mole God wants a mythic, so not likely to get it. Galvanize, not the song by the Chemical Brothers. 1 and a red, instant. Deals 3 damage to target creature. If you draw on 2 or more cards this turn, it deals 5 damage instead. And Candlestick, a clue equipment, there we go. So it clearly is based on the board game, isn't it? A blue, it's an artifact clue equipment. Whenever equipped creature is +1/+1 and has whenever this creature attacks, avail 2. You can sacrifice it by paying 2 generic and to draw a card, you can equip it for 2. Got a bit of flexibility. Cryptic Coat, we've had that one before. Alright. Okay. Right, Market Watch Phantom. Alright. What's going on there? But there we go. 1 and a white. Spirit Detective 2/2. Whenever a creature with power 2 or less enters the battlefield under your control, it gains 5 standard turn. Might not be too bad. Breakouts. Alright, I think this is one we wanted. Yes. One on the list anyway. So a red and a green sorcery. Look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them. If that card's more value 2 or less, you may put it onto the battlefield against haste and end of turn. If you didn't put the revealed card onto the battlefield this way, put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. So it's a sorcery, it's not instant like Collected Company. I think that might be quite good, that one. Potentially. And some cheaper decks, I guess, like human decks. Hedge Maze, okay, so another one is Surveil Lands. Blue-green one. So it enters tapped, you can surveil one when it enters the battlefield. Add a blue and a green. I keep forgetting the other mechanic in this set, which is the one where you look at your... is it gather evidence or something like that? I think it is, isn't it? You look at your graveyard and discard cards of a mana value. Goblin Mask Maker, alright, so it's 1 red, Goblin Citizen 1/2. When it attacks, face down spells you cast this turn cost 1 less to cast, 1 generic less. Extract a Confession. Alright, 1 and a black, sorcery. You may collect evidence 6, there we go, that's that mechanic, so I was right. Each opponent sacrifices a creature. If evidence is collected, instead each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures they control. Then Griffnaut Tracker, 3 and a white, Human Detective 3/2, flying. When it enters the battlefield, exile 2 cards from a single graveyard. Alright, and the rare for this one, Ill-Timed Explosion. I think we've had that one before, haven't we? Okay. Alright, so we're getting through them now. Loxodon Eavesdropper. Alright, okay. Not very subtle creature. 3 and a green, Elephant Detective 3/3. Okay, when it enters the battlefield, investigate. When you draw your second card each turn, it gets +1/+1 against vigilance under turn. Alright. Pinky Cap. Alright, interesting. Alright, it's not a clue equipment, it's just equipment, so obviously not in the board game. It's an artifact equipment, 1 generic to play it. Equip creature gets +1/+2. Equip Detective 1, so it's a bit cheaper to equip a detective, but otherwise it's equip 3, and that's generic mana. Suspicious Detonation, alright. 4 and a red, sorcery. The spell costs 3 less to cast if you sacrifice an artifact this turn, so it's a clue token. Can't be countered. It deals 4 damage to target creature. That includes the ward ability by the countering. It's got a Case of the Trampled Garden. Alright, who trampled the garden, I guess. Not much of a case, but there we go. 2 and a green. When it's battlefield, distribute 2 +1/+1 counters among 1 or 2 target creatures you control. And to solve it, creature control have a total power of 8 or greater. You solve it at the end of the end step. So solve, whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature. Or when it solve it, rather. Each trouble end of turn. Right. Not bad. Suspicious Detonation, we mentioned that one. Deadly Complication. Alright. 1 a black and a red. Sorcery. Choose 1 or both. Destroy target creature. Put a +1/+1 counter on target suspected creature control. You may have it become no longer suspected. And there. Tolsimir. Midnight Lights. 2 green, white. That's 5 in total. Elf Scout Legendary Creature 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, create Vohar Fenstalker, legendary 5/5 green and white wolf creature token with trample. Whenever a wolf you control attacks, if Tolsimir attack this combat, target creature and opponent controls blocks that wolf. If this combat if able. It reminds me of that other card. I forgot what it was. I wonder if it's the same card actually. No, it's slightly different I think. But there was another card like this when you went into the battlefield. It created a wolf token. I think it was a bit cheaper, but yeah. Had it on my Blink deck. I forgot what it's called now. But when it entered the battlefield, you created a token. I don't think it was quite as good as this. This looks like it might replace it, maybe. Not sure what that card was. Alright. Okay, Toxin Analysis. 1 black. Instant. Target creature gains death touch and lifelink to end of turn. Investigate. Interesting. There's some stuff with poison there. Like a dart. Okay. Wisp Drinker Vampire. Alright, 2 white and a black. Creature Vampire Row, 2/4, flying. When it's another creature power to less enter battlefield you control, each opponent loses 1 life, you gain 1 life. You can play 5 generic and white and a black. Creature control power 2 or less, gain death touch and lifelink to end of turn. And Buried in the Garden. I thought we'd had that one. Looks similar to another one we had. It's just the quite obviously buried there. It's just a dryad that's died, I think. A 2, a green and a white, enchantment aura, enchant land. When Buried in the Garden into the battlefield, exile type non-opponent you don't control until Buried in the Garden leaves the battlefield. So it's a bit like an ossification. Whenever enchanted land is tapped for mana, its controller adds an additional 1 mana to any colour. Oh, interesting, that's an interesting one. Might be overcosted, but to be playable in with an unlimited, but yeah, interesting. That might be one to look out for. Lost in the Maze, X blue, enchantment, flash. When Lost in the Maze enters the battlefield, tap X type creatures. Put a stun count on each of those creatures you don't control. Tap creatures you control have X proof. Okay, interesting. Alright. Okay. Alright. So we've got dramatic Accusation, 2 in the blue. Got those 3 women creature things again. Enchanted creature. When Dramatic Accusation enters the battlefield, tap Enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its control's untap step. Blue, shuffle enchanted creature into its owner's library. Alright. Curious Inquiry. There's that detective guy. 1 blue. Enchantment aura. Enchant creature. It gets +1/+1 as whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, investigate. And rare. Izoni, Center of the Web. 4 black-green. Legendary creature of Detective Menace. 5/4. When Izoni is center of enters the battlefield or attacks, you may collect evidence. 4. If you do, create 2/1 black and green spider creature tokens with Menace and Reach. Sacrifice 4 tokens. Surveil 2. Then draw 2 cards. You gain 2 life. Interesting. Alright. Don't know if that one's any good or not. Well, these are like commander cards, aren't they? I think. Okay, so we've got Hars the Vigilante. 4 and a white, 4/4 creature, giant soldier. Against battlefield attacks, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature control with power 2 or less. Repeat Offender, 1 and a black, human assassin, 2/1. Alright, so 2 and a black. If repeat offender is suspected, put the +1/+1 counter on it, otherwise suspect it. Okay, that's menacing, can't block. Alright, Nervous Gardener, 1 and a green. Creature Dryad, 2/2, disguise 1. When Nervous Gardener is turned face up, search your library for a land card. With a basic land type revealed to put it into your hand and shuffle. Alright. Not bad for getting your lands out of your deck, I guess. Alright, yeah, okay. So it's got the, obviously you can pay free to put it face down as a 2/2 ward 2. And then flip it with its disguise cost, which is relatively cheap. In the case of the Shattered Pack, 2 generics enchantment case. When this case enters the battlefield, search library for a basic land card revealed, put it into your hand and shuffle. To solve it, there are 5 colours and 1 permanent you control. That works quite well with that leyline talking about what we did. Playing down the guild packs, I guess. And when it's solved, at the beginning of your combat on your turn, target creature control gains flying, double strike, and vigilance on the turn. No, it's not too bad, that one, I guess, but you've got to have a load of different colours. How it might be a bit too nuanced. Case of the Locked Hothouse. Alright. That was a dead body, then it's just closed. What's going on there then? Someone's disappeared. 3 and a green. You may play an additional land on each of your turns. Alright. To solve, control 7 or more lands. And solve it at the beginning of your end step. Solved. You may look at the top card of your library at any time. You may cast. You may play lands and cast creature enchantment spells from the top of your library. Oh, interesting. Might be reasonable in some cases. You've got to solve them first. That's the problem, isn't it? So, it's going to be quite slow. Sanctuary Wall, 1 and a white, artifact creature wall, defender, 0/4, and you can pay 2 generic and white and tap it. To tap target creature, you may put a stun counter on it. If you do, put a stun counter on Sanctuary Wall. Okay, so not a great one, that one. And then we've got Not on My Watch, 1 and a white, exile target attacking creature. So we've had that one before with another name. I forgot what it's called now. Then we've got another of these tap lands, surveil lands. So it's the black and blue this time. Surveil 1 when it enters the battlefield under city sewers. So well, a lot of our rares have been those so far. 3 or 4 of them. We've got a mythic pack this time. What stuff? We've had all the other things. So Chalk Island, that's one we wanted. Was on our list anyway. 3 and of green. Enchantment. 1 or more creature cards leave the graveyard. Create a 2/2 white and blue detective creature token and investigate. Alright, so yeah, might be alright in some areas that. Got a specific outline there. Okay, some dots there. They put the dots for the blood as well. I know it's the cat's footprints, okay. That's interesting. You can see that the cat's walked through the outline and got this, it's got its footprints. Right, so strange, yeah. Interesting. Okay, what's the mythic? Yeah, it's just a mythic wild card. Alright, so the wild cards, but if you don't know, you can just use them to exchange for a mythic card. So they're quite good, really. Got another mythic pack here. Inside Source, 2 and a white, human citizen creature, 1/1. When it enters battlefield, create a 2/2 white or blue detective creature token. Alright. Someone's handing evidence or something to someone there behind the scenes. And you can pay 3 generic and tap it. So target detective you control gets +2/+0 and gains vigilance turn. Activate only as a sorcery. And in your main phases, Clandestine Meddler, 2 and a black, Vampire Rogue, 3/2. When it enters the battlefield, suspect up to 1 other target creature control. Whenever 1 or more suspected creature controls attacks, surveil 1. And we got a split card, Push and Pull. Don't know if this is a reprint or not, but it sounds like it probably did exist before because the name is quite generic. And then a 1 and a hybrid black-white. Sorcery, destroy target tap creature. And Pull, 4 and 2 hybrid black-reds. Put up to 2 target creature cards from a single graveyard onto battlefield under your control. They gain haste under turn, sacrifice them at the end of the beginning of the end step. Alright, that's another one that leaves your graveyard, so that will trigger those other things, I imagine. And we've got Aurelia's Vindicator. Alright, I think is she one of the suspects as well? I think she is. She's only a white creature this time, not a red one as well. 2 and a white. Creature Angel. 4/2. Flying Lifelink Ward 2. Weak. It does have the ward. Disguise. X3 and a white. When Aurelia's Vindicator turn face up, so you can do all the disguise shenanigans. Exile up to X other type creatures from the battlefield and or creature cards from the graveyard. When Aurelia's Vindicator leaves the battlefield, return the exile card to owner's hand. Okay, so he's got all that stuff that syncs with the gather evidence or collect evidence or whatever it was. Possibly, potentially. Alright, what else? Anything good? Alright, we got Private Eye, literally an eye. We've got some eyes, I guess. Homunculus Detective, 1 a white and a blue. 3/3. Human Detective, Homunculus Detective, as I say. Other creature you control, or detective you control, gain +1/+1. Whenever you draw your second card each turn, it can't be blocked. This creature can't. A lot of stuff going on about your second card, isn't it? I guess that Ledger Shred will be quite good with all this. Underground Mortuary, those kind of decks. And they're usually blue-red, aren't they? So, okay, so got another one is Surveil Lands. It's the black-green one this time. Underground Mortuary. Enters tap, Surveil one when it enters the battlefield. Alright. Topiary Panther, 4 green, 6/5, trample, plant cats, basic land cycling, 1 generic and a green, so you can cycle it. Although it's got like a rose in it. That Topiary Storm, quite expensive that card though. A limited one only. You got another one of these Surveil Lands again, Shadow Backstreet, black-white, enters tap, Surveil one when it enters. Got loads of those. I guess it'd be good if we wanted them. Vengeful Tracker, 1 and a red. Human Detective 2/2. When an opponent sacrifices an artifact, it deals 2 damage to them, so it's anti-clue stuff. Public Thoroughfare. Land. Enter battlefield tapped. When it enters battlefield, sacrifice it unless you tap an untapped artifact to land you control. Add 1 mana of any colour when you tap it. So, I don't know. Yeah, not a great card, I don't think, but nonetheless, there it is. Fey Fight. Fey Flight. 1 and a blue. Enchantment Aura. Flash. Enchant creature, when it enters the battlefield, enchanted creature gains hex per end of turn. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has flying. And a rare Case of the Uneaten Feast. Alright, there we go. 1 white. Whenever a creature enters battlefield under control, you gain 1 life. To solve, you gain 5 more life this turn. And solved, sacrifice this case, creature cards in your graveyard gain, you may cast this card from your graveyard instead of turn. So that might be quite good for some of these life gain decks. Well, it's only when you solve it, isn't it? So, yeah, I don't know. Look, is it optional to solve it as well? I don't know whether it's optional, whether it just does it. I think it might, so if it's not optional, it would be a bit of a pain, because it might happen when you don't want it to. But I'm not sure about those cards. Right, Meddling Youths, those pesky kids. 3, Scooby-Doo, is it? What's going on there? Meddling with a body there, I'm not sure. Anyway, 3 red and a white. Haste, Human Detective 4/5. Whenever you attack 3 or more creatures, investigate. Gain clue token. And the rare. Deadly Cover-Up, right? 3 black, sorcery. Okay, so this will cost to cast a spell. You may collect evidence 6, so exile mana value 6 or more. From your graveyard, destroy creatures. If evidence was collected, exile a card from opponent's graveyard. Then search his owner's graveyard, hand and library for any number of cards with that name and exile them. A player shuffles and then draws a card for each card exiled this way from their land. Alright. Okay, so if you exile them from the hand. So that's similar card to one that exists already. I forgot what it's called, so I might see some play. I've seen that one a few times. Okay, so Wrench is a clue equipment. There we go. 1 white. Artifact is a clue equipment. Equip creatures +1/+1 has vigilance, and pay 3 generic and tap a type creature. And you can pay 2 to equip it. Sorry, to pay 2 to... Well, you can pay 2 to equip it, but you can pay 2 as well to sacrifice it to draw a card. Okay, Rakish Scoundrel. 2 black-green. Elf rogue creature. 3/3. Death Touch. Into battlefield is turn face up. Type creature gains indestructible until end of turn. Disguise 4 and then 2 hybrid. Green, black. Hedge Whisperer. Alright, Hedge Whisperer. That's the card. guess he creates the topiary stompers and the other stomper, the cat one. It's a green. Elf Druid Detective 0/3. You may choose not to untap Hedge Whisperer during your untap step. Okay, you can play 3 and a green to untap it to collect evidence 4. Target line you control becomes a 5/5 green plant boar creature with haste. As long as Hedge Whisperer remains tapped, it's still land activated as a sorcery. That might be okay, but you got to do the collect evidence, which is exile from your graveyard. Right then, the rare Steam Core Scholar 2 and a blue, Weird Detective 2/2, Flying Vigilance. It's like a weird spirit, that kind of weird. When it enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards, then discard 2 cards, let's discard an instant sorcery card or a creature card with flying. Alright. Okay. What else have we got? Nothing new in this one. Rare wild card. Okay, nothing special in there. Another mythic pack. Nothing new. We've got Rakdos. Is he a suspect in this? I'm not sure. Patron of Chaos 4. It's in an official subject in the narrative of the set. 4 black and a blue, black and a red. Legendary creature demon 6/6 flying trample. Beginning of your end step. Target opponent may sacrifice 2 non-land non-token permanents. If they don't, you draw 2 cards. Interesting. Yeah. But not good if they've got Shieldred. Alright. We've got Night Drinker Moroi. Alright, 3 and a black, vampire creature, 4/2, flying. When it enters the battlefield, you lose 3 life. Disguise, 2/2. Alright. We've got Caught Red-Handed, 4 and red, instant. It can't be countered, includes by the ward ability. Gains control of target creature until end of turn and tap it. It gains haste another turn, suspect it. Alright, just so it can't be blocked by just one creature. So that's quite interesting. Audience with Trotsani, if we've had that one before. Okay. Right, a few new ones. Lightning Helix, so that's the classic. That's what a relative chase one actually I should have included, isn't it? Yeah, so yeah, red and a white. 3 damage to any target, you gain 3 life. Yeah, that's uncommon as well. That's one I should have mentioned before. Yeah, I forgot about that. Gadget Technician, 2 blue and a red. Goblin Artificer, 3/2. When into battlefield or turn face up, create a 1/1 colours Fopter artifact creature token with flying. Disguise, hybrid, red, blue, so 2 in total. Coerce to Kill, 3 and a blue, black, like a sort of one of those Dovin characters. Enchant orange, enchant creature, you control enchant creature has base power and toughness 1/1, is death touch, and is an assassin, just as other types. Alright. An Axebane Ferox is rare, a 2 and a green, death touch H ward, collect evidence 4, it's a 4/4 creature beast. Okay. So, oh, it's got ward collect evidence. Okay, so yeah, that seems a reasonably good generic card. Death touch H and ward. But you know, you've got ones like Collected Company, what's it called? Questing Beasts. It's kind of like that, but not as good, I think, isn't it? So, yeah, you probably just play that instead. Right, Leering Onlooker, 1 and a black. Creature vampire, 1/3, flying. You can pay 2 black, exile Leering Onlooker from your graveyard, create 2 tap, 1/1 black creature tokens with flying. Strange looking vampire, that one. Is it still a vampire though? Right, Ill-Timed Explosion, we had that one before. Okay. Evidence Examiner, a green and a blue. Merfolk Detective, 2/2. Beginning of combat on your turn, you may collect evidence 4. When you collect evidence, investigate. Alright. Case of Locked Hot House, had that one. Okay. So yeah, we get quite a lot of ones we've already had now, so it's almost to the point where it's mainly the rares and mythics that we knock out. But a Magnifying Glass, 3 generic artifacts. You can tap it to add a colourless mana. We can pay 4 and tap it to investigate. And we got Cease and Desist, a split card. It's got 1 and a hybrid black-green. Instant, exile 2 target cards from a single graveyard. Type play against 2 life and draws a card. You got Desist, which is 4 generic and 2 hybrid green-whites. Destroy all artifacts and enchantments. Okay, quite expensive. Does cover artifacts as well. as enchantments, because there's a 2 mana. It's 1 generic and 1 green. It destroys all enchantments at instant speed. That's a sorcery. Soul Innovation, 3 and a black enchantment flash. When Soul Innovation enters the battlefield, target creature gets -4/-4 until end of turn. Whenever one or more creature cards leaves your graveyard, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. I guess it synergizes with that collect evidence. Shenanigans. Outrageous Robbery, X black instant. Target opponent exiles the top X cards of their library face down. You may look at and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. If you cast a spell this way, you spend mana of any type to cast it. Right, so we see that a few times, those kind of cards, don't we? So there's some decks that might see that in future being played. I forgot what the card is called. Siphon Insight or something, is it? I'm not sure. Green Belt Radical, 3 and a green. Looks a bit like that woman from it's a Centaur, but the face looks a bit like the Alloy, what she's called, from Horizon. Creature center citizen, 4/4, disguise, 5 green. When it's its turn face up, put a +1/+1 count on each creature control. Creature control gain trample until end of turn. Alright. It means itself as well. And the rare Steam Core Skull, we've had that one before. Alright, so getting through, we've got Samala Sentry, Elf Archer, green-white, reach, 1/3. Whenever a face opponent you control is turn face up, put a +1/+1 count on it, and a +1/+1 count on Samala Sentry. So quite synergizes quite well with those. And the Mythic Wild card. It's good to get the wild cards, but obviously not that exciting for the the pack cracking, is it really? Well, here we go. Auraria the Law above. Did we have? Was that maybe it was another person then? I thought this was her before. I think she's the suspect. I don't know who the other one was. I thought it was her, but maybe not unless it's another one with the same name or something, I don't know. But anyway, this is a suspected one for sure. 3, a red and a white, legendary creature angel, 4/4, flying vigilance haste. Whenever a player attacks with 3 or more creatures, you draw a card. Whenever a player attacks with 5 more creatures or area low above, deals 3 damage to each of your opponents and you gain 3 life. Right. Commander card, obviously. Gets a leg up, 1 green. Some guy standing on the back of a Centaur. Or some person. Until the turn, target uses +1/+1 for each creature control and gains reach. Sample Collector, 2 and a green. Looks like. Is it Beast from? Looks like Beast from X-Men, but I'm sure there's someone else it reminds me of more. I can't think who it is. Some actual detective character who's a non-human character, but I forgot who it is now. Troll Detective 2/3. Whenever a Sample Collector attacks, you may collect evidence free. When you do, put +1/+1 counter type creature controls. Collect evidence, exile cards from your graveyard with mana value equal to the exile cost or more. Barbed Servitor, 3 and a black. Artifact creature construct, 1/1, indestructible. When it enters the battlefield, suspect it. When Barbed Servitor deals combat damage to a player, you draw a card and lose 1 life. When it's dealt damage, top opponent loses that much life. Interesting, so yeah, so when it's suspected, it's got menace, so it can't be blocked by 1 creature. Has been more. Right, got a mythic pack with a big red shine. Let's see. There we go, we've got Massacre Girl. Known killer, so clearly a suspect. 2 black. Human Assassin, 4/4. Creature you control have Wither, so when it deals damage in the form of -1/-1 counters, so if it hits for 4, it's -4/-4. Whenever a creature an opponent control dies, if its toughness was less than 1, draw a card. Alright, there we go. I mean, look at her. She's... yeah. Alright, obviously a bit dodgy. There we go. Too obvious a suspect, you'd say, but you never know. Alright, just one new one. Case of the Ransacked Lab, 2 and a blue. It's an enchantment case. Instant source spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. That's weird. Instant source spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. You should just say instant source spells cost 1 less to cast, because by implication, if you've already casted them, it means you've already paid the cast cost. Which isn't actually then 1 less, so that's very strange. To solve, you've cast 4 more instant source spells this turn. Solve whenever you cast instant source spell, draw a card. Alright, then. I guess they're quite good accompanying ones, these, but whether they'll, I'll say, work actually in practice in anything other than perhaps standard, I don't know. Alright. Cerebral Confession. Okay, is that like a sort of thought crime type thing? 2 and a... well, maybe not, but you know, what's it called? Minority Report type affair. We've done get accused of crime before we've done it. I don't know. No, it's just literally he's confessed. You've got the confession out of his head somehow. 2 in the black. Choose one. Sorcery. This is target opponent discards 2 cards. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose none card from it. That player discards that card. In the rare, Shadowy Backstreet. I think we already had that. Surveil land comes in tapped. Black and a white. You can add for tapping it. Gleaming Gear Drake, blue and a red, 1/1, flying artifact creature Drake, like a Drake made out of gold and jewels and stuff. When it's battlefield, investigate. Whenever you sacrifice an artifact, put +1/+1 counter on Gleaming Gear Drake. And then the no witnesses. Right, not had this one before. 2 white sorcery. Each player who controls the most creatures investigates, then destroy all creatures. All right, that's your board wipe affair. Well, someone on YouTube had created a deck with nothing but board wipes and it worked quite well apparently. Illicit Masquerade, 3 in a black, enchantments. Okay. There's artwork going on there, but there we go. Flash, when it enters the battlefield, put an imposter counter on each creature you control. Whenever a creature you control with an imposter counter on it dies, exile it, return up to 1 other type creature card from your grave to the battlefield. So it doesn't tell you what an imposter token is there. It's just a token. Yeah, it's just a counter, isn't it? Okay. So it gets exiled when it dies. Okay. Alright. Not sure if that's any good. Makeshift Binding, 2 and a white. Enchantment. When Makeshift Binding enters the battlefield, exile type creature in player control until it leaves the battlefield, you gain 2 lives. That's your typical white removal. Temporary. Unyielding Gatekeeper. Elephant Cleric. I was going to say Elephant Gatekeeper. 1 and a white. Strange that it's not a Loxodon or whatever, it's just an elephant, but there we go. When Loxodon, they're there. Are they rhinos? I think they are, aren't they? 3/2. Disguise. 1 and a white. When Unyielding Gatekeeper is turn face up, exile another type non-land permanent. If you controlled it, return to battlefield tapped. Otherwise, the control creates a 2/2 white and blue detective creature. Well, it's a flicker one, this one, isn't it? Could be interesting. You've got to turn it face up to do it, so I'm not sure that will see much play. Okay, Fester Leech, 1 black, Zombie Leech, 1/1. When deals combat damage to the player, you mill 2 cards, and you can play 1 generic and a black, then he gets +2/+2 until end of turn. That's only once each turn. 10 stick hero again, seems to be quite good. The Mythic Pack. Case File Auditor, 2 and a white. Human Detective, 1/4. Enter the battlefield, and whenever you solve a case, look at the top 6 cards of the library, move an enchantment card from among them, put it in your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. You may spend mana as though it were mana of any colour to cast spells. Interesting, okay. And there we go, they got the Trostani 3 Whisperers, or Whispers. The green and hybrid green-white and the white. So this is the 3 people we were talking about, the 3 women. That's a 4/4. I'm sure they had more of an Asian look to them in the original artwork. This is different set of people. Legendary creature Dryad. So you can pay 1 and a green. Target creature gains destruction end of turn. And you can pay generic, hybrid white green. Target creature gains vigilance end of turn. And you can pay 2 generic and a white. Target creature gains double strikes end of turn. Okay, might be quite good, but it's a Dryad, so the decks that want that kind of thing will probably want a soldier or a human creature type. Cornered Crook. We say cook for a minute. 4 and a red. 5/4. Vishanu Warrior. That's like the lizard men. When Cornered Crook enters the battlefield, you may sacrifice an artifact. When you do, Cornered Crook deals 3 damage to any target. It's like breaking something to deal the damage, I guess. Analyze the Pollen. 1 green. Sorcery. Okay. As an additional cost to cast a spell, you may collect evidence 8. Search library for a basic land card. If evidence is collected, instead search library for a creature or land card. Reveal that card, put it in your hand, then shuffle. Alright. So that's 7 8. Exile 8 mana values worth of cards from your graveyard. We've got 5 more packs left. We're nearly there. Alright. Okay, we've had all those. Connecting the dots. Excuse me. Connecting the dots. One generic and a red enchantment. Whenever creature control attacks, it's on the top card of your library face down. You can't look at it. One and a red. Discard your hand. Sacrifice connecting the dots. Put all card exiled with connecting the dots into their owner's hand. Alright, that's quite good. So, yeah, quite good for those red decks that just keep attacking. But again, whether it's as good as other cards they could be playing instead, I don't know. Aggro decks. Shady Informant, 3, black and a red. Ogre Rogue, 4/2. When Shady Informant dies, it deals 2 damage to any target. And you can disguise it for 2 and then 2 hybrid red-black. Doorkeeper Thrall. It's a creature Thrall. 1 and a white. Flash flying. Artifacts and creatures entering the battle don't cause abilities to trigger. To me, that's a reasonable one. That card, I think. Quite good at that sort of shush fairy or shush bringer fae or whatever it's called. Alright, but a pain of a card for those blink decks. Only 2 packs left. How did we have? Was it 50 or 40? I mean, it's 50, wasn't it? Frantic Scapegoat, literally a goat. 1 red. Haste. When it enters the battlefield, suspect it. So it can't. It's got menace and can't block. Whenever one or more other creatures enters the battlefield under your control, if Frantic Scapegoat is suspected, you may suspect one of the other creatures. If you do, Frantic Scapegoat is not suspected, so it gives up menace to something else as well. Would be quite good. Blood Spatter Analysis. Right, a black and red. When Blood Spatter Analysis enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to target creature and controls. When one or more creatures die, mill a card and put a bloodstain counter on Blood Spatter Analysis, then sacrifice it. It has 5 or more bloodstain counters on it. When you do, return to a creature card from your graveyard to your hand, so it's just way of getting a creature back later on. After you've had a few people die. Alright. Is this the last one? I'm not sure now. Boldrak Clan Basher. 4 red. Cyclops Warrior 3/2. Double Strike Trample. Disguise 3 red. Oh, that's a bit of a rubbish card, that. It's very overcosted. Yeah, just a limited card, I think, and even then I'm not sure. 4 and a black Polygraph Orb artifact. That's to detect lying. When it enters the battlefield, look at the top 4 cards of your library, put 2 of them in your hand, and the rest in your graveyard. Use 2 life. You can pay 2 generic and tap it to collect evidence free. So exile from your graveyard, 3 mana value or more. Each opponent loses 3 life unless they discard a card to sacrifice a creature. Okay. And then the reference one. Case of the Crimson Pulse, 2 and a red. When it enters the battlefield, discard a card and draw 2 cards, and you solve it if you have no cards in your hand. So it's good for these red aggro decks. And solve it, you upkeep, discard your hand, and draw 2 cards. So constantly just getting cards. That's not a bad one. That one might work out quite well. But again, these aggro, well, yeah, I don't know, maybe you'd prefer to be spending 3 mana on something that actually does damage them instead. I think usually the jig's up by the time you get to the end game, but you never know. Right, so that's all of them. Let's open the Ixalan pack. Let's open this one, see what we got. I won't really go over them because it's the old deck. Alright, nothing too new. Throne of the Grim Captain was the rare. The legendary artifact. You can tap it to mill 2 cards. You can craft a dinosaur, merfolk, or pirate with it, and a vampire 4. Oh, it's that one that becomes the Grim Captain. It's that one of those like meme decks, really. Meme card, rather. Okay, but I saw some people try it out in when it first came out. Family Reunion. I like that captain. Is that Sisay and that other person? I forgot what they're called now. In the artwork. Alright. Well, I've got the golden packs to see. I'll only really discuss the Karlov Manor one or whatever, I think. Ones. We'll see. Yargul and Multani, 3, well, I might do them all actually. 3 black green, legendary creature, frog, spirit elemental, 18/6. Quite straightforward one, that one. 18/6, goodness me. And Galadriel Lothlorien, okay, one of the, Lord of the Rings cards, 1 green blue, 3/3, legendary creature, half noble. When a ring tempts you, if you choose a creature other than Galadriel Lothlorien as your ring bearer, scry 3. So let's look at your cards, and you reveal the top card of your library. And whenever you scry, reveal the top card of the library. If a land card was revealed this way, put it into your battlefield tapped. The scry, look at the top cards, however many it is, and put the top or the bottom in any order. Each card. Downey Streetwise Lookouts. This is one from this, yes. The new set, Karlov Manor, 2 and a white. Creature Human Scout 2/2. Creature control with power 2 or less can't be blocked by creatures with power 3 or greater. If an ability of a creature control with power 2 or less triggers, that ability triggers additional time. So another one of those. So, but it's got to be power 2 or less. Well, that might be quite good. In these flicker decks, into battlefield decks maybe. Again, maybe it's just a bit too nuanced. Under City Sewers, we've had that one before. Surveil lands, one of the new sets. Enters tapped. Black and the blue. Some mythics here. Narset, Enlightened Exile. Okay, 1 blue, red, white. 3/4, human monk, legendary creature. The creature can draw prowess whenever Narset Enlightened Exile attacks. It's a type non-creature non-land card with mana value less than Narset's power from a graveyard and copy it. You may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. Seems good, but I've never really seen that play much. Surge Engine, alright. Artifact creature construct, 2 generic. Got a load of stuff there, I don't think I'll go into that one. Okay. Or should I? I've been doing it, haven't I, all the way through. It's just quite big, isn't it? So, you pay, it's a defender, you can pay a blue, it loses defender and gains, this creature can be blocked. You pay 2 in the blue, so it becomes a blue, becomes blue and has base power and toughness 5/4. Activate it, and if it doesn't have defense, you level it up basically. And then 4 blue, draw 3 cards. Activate any Surge Engine is blue and only once. Alright. Okay, so we get in this one. Another mythic again. This looks like it's an alchemy one. Okay, Kellen, Daring Traveller. 1 and a white, 2/3. Sorcery Adventure. It's the face card, isn't it? On the packs of Last Caverns of Ixalan. So you can cast it for a green as a sorcery. Create X map so X is 1+ number of opponents who control an artifact. Is it like is it a thingy card again? Commander card. And whenever it attacks, if it's a creature, reveal top card of your library. If it's a creature card with mana value less, put it in your hand, otherwise you may put it in your graveyard. Right, Mirren Safe House, 3 generic artifacts. It's on the battlefield, it has all activated abilities of all lands, cards in all graveyards. Analyze the Pollen, we've had that one before, earlier today. Case Lock Gatehouse, Hot House, we had that before. The Temporal Anchor, 3 blue, legendary artifacts, beginning your upgate, scry 2. If you choose to put 1 or more cards at the bottom of your library while scrying, exile that many cards from the bottom of your library. During your turn, you may play cards exiled with a Temporal Anchor. Okay. Late game blue control, type 1, isn't it?
I stopped one Phyrex invasion. I can stop another.
Alright, Khan Living Legacy. There's been alchemized. Did they improve him, did they? His second ability became a 0. And the other one became -6, so they made him better. Because he was, I think he was like, everyone was saying he's one of the worst planeswalkers ever, so. It still doesn't seem played that much, but. Alright, there we go. Alright, +1 plays, creates a power stone token, he's planeswalker with 4 loyalty and 4 generic to cast him. You can 0, a penny amount of mana, look at that many cards from the top of your library and put one of those cards in your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And then -6, get an ember with tap when you're tapped. Tap an untapped artifact you control, you get an deals 1 damage. This emblem deals 1 damage to any target. Alright. So you can tap artifacts to deal damage. Okay, next golden pack, let's see. Mythic in this one. Looks like we've got another rebalance card or whatever. Okay, so got another Surveil land. It's a new one though. It's green red. Enters tapped. Surveil when it does. Commercial district. Orcish Bowmasters. Alright, so there we go. So yeah, it's a pretty good card, that one actually. When it's a battlefield, it's got flash. It's a 1/1 Orc Archer. When an opponent draws cards at the first one they drew in each of their draw steps, Orcish Bowmaster deals 1 damage to any target, and the Mass Orcs 1, but it was nerfed heavily to get rid of the battlefield effect. It's the battlefield effect. Right, Doppelgang, that's a new one. So it's got XXX and then the green and the blue. So the X are generic. So for each of X target's permanents, create X tokens that are copies of that permanent. Alright, so it costs at least 5. Expensive that really. Might be a good one to do that, Doppelgang. No. The crazy Saffron Olive against the odd style deck. Okay, Esvim again, we saw him before. Virtue of Persistence, this is from the previous set. 5 generic and a black. When scoring, you see you can attack creature gets -3/-3 turn turn, you gain 2 life, and also if you can play it as an enchantment rather than that sorcery adventure. You upkeep, put target creature card from Gear on the battlefield under your control, so it's quite a good card, that one. 4 and a Shaman, or Shaman, 1 and a green, 2/2, Elf Shaman. Green and tap it to discard a creature card, so it's like for a creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand and shuffle. Alright, 2 more golden packs. And that's it. Okay, Zenith Chronica, 2 generic for extra construct artifact creature, 3/1. Whenever a player casts their first multicolor spell each turn, each other player draws a card. Barb Servitor, we saw that one before. It's that kind of ginger brute type affair. Similar. Okay, Varus, Roar of the Old Gods. This is from the new set. 2 green and a red. Legendary creature, Sensor Druid, 4/4. Other creatures you control have haste. Whenever one or more face-down creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Whenever a face-down creature you control dies, since the battlefield under its owner's control. If it's a permanent card, then turn it face up. Alright. That's quite good for all these face-down cards. Dragna Canal, I've had that one before. Keystone House, had that one before. And the Mythic. Blade Core Serpent, X and 6 generic. 5/4 creature, artifact creature serpent. So it enters the battlefield. For each 2 blue spent on it, draw a card. And for each 2 black spent on it, each opponent discards a card. And for each 2 red spent on it, it gets +1/+0 and gains strength on haste under turn. Quite flexible, that one, but quite expensive. I don't see it much. And the last pack. I've got some Mythic, that's good. Caramonix, the Rat King. 1 black. Rexian Rat, legendary creature, 3/3, toxic 1. So when it does damage, they get a poison token equal to the toxic value. Your Rat's control of toxic 1. When it's battlefield, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal any number of Rat cards among them and put them into real cards in your hand. The rest of the bottom of your library in a random order. Cosmic Confluence, not this one before actually. 4 and a green, 4 generic. Choose 3, you may choose the same mode more than once. Search your library for a cave card, put on a battlefield tap, then shuffle. Put 3 +1/+1 cards on a cave you control. It becomes a 0/0 elemental creature with haste to start land. Destroy target enchantment. So, quite flexible. Against the cave decks. Commercial District, that's the surveil line we got before. Case of the, stashed skeleton. That's in the closet, literally. One of the blacks, this is a new one from the new set. When this case enters the battlefield, create a 2/1 black skeleton creature token and suspect it. So it gets menacing, can't block. To solve, you control no suspected skeletons. Get if unsolved, so it's being in step solved. So so 1 and a black, sacrifice this case, search library for a card, put it in your hand, and then shuffle activate it into the sorcery. Don't know if that's any good or not really. Although this skeleton's got long hair, flowers on it. So, and if there's a creature in the set that is obviously that creature. Tarian Soul Cleaver, alright, looks like a trident. It's 1 generic, select artifact equipment. Equip creature of vigilance. Whenever artifact or creature is put in the graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 card on the equipped creature. Equip 2. And the last one, it's a Mythic. Right, Hilda of the Icy Crown. 2 white and a blue. Legendary creature, human warlock, 3/4. Whenever you tap an untapped creature your opponent controls, you may pay 1. When you do, choose 1. Get a 4/4 white and blue elemental creature token. Put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Scry 2, then draw a card. So, yes, look at the top 2 cards of your library, and you can put them on the top and bottom of your library in any order. Each one individually. Interesting. I think that was one that was broken with a certain card, wasn't it? I seem to remember, but I never obviously played it because I didn't have that before. But there we go, guys. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that unboxing. I don't think we got too many. Well, unboxing, pack cracking. Yeah, so where do we go? We got Pick Your Poison once, didn't you? I think. We got Breakout. Got one that looked like it was chalk outline, but I don't think we actually got that one. It just was something else had like a magical outline, wasn't it? Not chalk. We didn't get Archduke's Charm, unfortunately. We didn't get Long Goodbye. Insidious Roots. Did we get that one? I don't know if we got that one. Lane and the Girl Pack, which is one I was looking for, sort of. Didn't get that. No More Lies. Don't got that one. The counter spell, unless whoever pays free, it exiles when it's countered. Crime Against Humanity. We did get that one. Stupid name, that one. Honestly. Prime Novelist. I don't think we got that one, and we didn't get the Mole God either, but that was a Mythic. So yeah, so there we go. So bit of a mixed bag there. I don't know. The set seems quite thematic, but I don't know if it's other than standard. I don't know if it's going to be any good or not. Doesn't seem to be. I mean, there's a couple of good cards, the ones I mentioned before, particularly that perhaps that counter one. Maybe a couple of others. That one that you can level up the one and a white creature. That seemed like it was quite good. But yeah, and obviously Lightning Helix as well. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Not sure yet. Doesn't seem to be a million cards in it that's any good. Archmage's Charm, I guess. There's obviously loads of commander creatures in there. I think that goes without saying nowadays, doesn't it? But yeah. So we'll see how the set does. Alright guys, hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.